Welcome to Authentic with Brazil 201. I'm your host, Brazil 201, and on today's episode, we're going to talk about the show that just premiered yesterday, Sunday night on HBO. Task It is a miniseries. It is here for the next 7 weeks. Full disclosure, I was given all 7 episodes to watch. Actually, no, I wasn't given all seven. I have 5 of 7. I can watch it if I want, but I will not because the whole purpose of the HBO 9 p.m. show is that you get to do the conversation. And if I were to binge all of this, while I would enjoy it, I think it would just like disappear in my mind, which is what has happened with like the 2 Wednesday drops. But unlike the shows that are weekly, do like live on in the conversation, whether it's Severance, White Lotus, The Pit, Fallout when that comes out later this year. Welcome to Derry, which is the show that will replacing the 9 p.m. slot once Task is done. And we had Andor and Marvel Zombies and Paradise and The Rehearsal. It's been a good year for television, but Task is, how do we say this? It seems to be our pseudo sequel to both. Uh, what was the show called? It was the show with John Berthal that also took place in Baltimore. I'm not talking, as well as it's very similar to We Own This. Oh, there we go. It's very similar to We Own the City, but it also feels like The Wire. So Task is, how do we say, an American crime drama. It is created and written by our boy Brad Ingsleby. It has Mark Ruffalo, Amelia Jones from Coda, Tom Pelphrey, and a lot of other unknowns. So here's the log line. A Philadelphia-based FBI agent, Mark Ruffalo, is put in charge of a task force that has a Philadelphia PD, a state trooper, and another cop because a crime ring is committing violent robberies all across Philadelphia. And what's beautiful about the show is that it's a parallel story. We're meeting our 2 characters, right? Mark, who is, by the way, let's talk about the entire fucking plot line of this character from the 66 minutes we have met this one. He was a priest turned FBI agent whose adopted son murdered someone and is in jail for it currently. Okay? Talk about fucking chaotic. Then we have the garbage gang. Tom Pelphrey, he is Robbie, right? He's a garbage collector for J&W Sanitation who robs houses at night all across Philadelphia. There's also Uncle Garbage, Cliff, which is Robbie's best friend. I just gotta say, the dual storylines of how we're seeing their lives get worse is truly amazing. Apparently, Tom has been sidelined from the FBI, and this is his first job back in the city, and it's insane what has had happened. We see all the, how do we say this? This is probably the most violent crimes we have seen on television since I want to at least say Ozark, because the murders that happen in this show is crazy, and it just seems very realistic, unlike the FBI's on CBS or NCIS or Law and Order. This seems realistic from what I've been seeing on TikTok of like actual crimes that people are showing up from their Ring camera that happens in Philadelphia, in Anacostia, in Camden, and Trenton, and parts of LA. And I gotta say, it's interesting because Robbie is both he's not obviously, he's intelligent in like terms of street smarts because he's like, yo, we're garbage men. People aren't looking at us, they're looking through us, right? They just expect us to be there. And what's interesting is that they dig through the drug house's trash so they know exactly when the drug houses are selling, which is fucking genius because I never would have thought of that. Now, talk about next level planning because I don't even think like FBI agents would ever think about that. By the way, from what we're seeing though, Tom is not a great FBI agent, okay? And he lives with his dead brother's daughter, who takes care of his children. I believe I'm getting this right. No, that's right. No, she takes care of her actual brother, sister. There's a lot of fucking children in the show, and it's hard to, like, get everything mixed together within this. But, first of all, Amelia Jones is beautiful, and I've never seen a girl pull off bangs that look like a disaster as good as this girl does. I'm in it, and also, we kinda get it, Robbie's a deadbeat, but he's intelligent, and I gotta say the last 8 minutes of the pilot, holy shit. The shootout, the fact that somehow the little kid did not get shot, and them taking the children because their moral red line is, "I'm not gonna kill a child," right? You, the viewers, think, "Yeah, you have to get rid of the child because they saw the faces and the whole thing about this." It's really insane. And we're gonna I really hope, because we're clearly gonna get a flashback of when, Tom's son murdered who I'm going to assume is his wife, right? I'm gonna assume Tom's adopted son murdered his wife, which sucks, but we're gonna get it because they go to the prison, he's like, "I'm dropping off a suit for my son for his court date," he's like, "Oh, do you want a vid?" He's like, "No," but we're clearly gonna get, like, that visitation thing, and we're gonna see what I guess, made him drop the priesthood. I've never heard of someone dropping the priesthood to become an FBI agent. It is ridiculous. But this is probably one of the best shows of the year. Now, is this gonna be on my 10? Because here's the issue with this is I have an award vote, right? I have an Emmy vote, I have a SAG vote, I have a bunch of award show votes, right? This show did not pop up on my radar. Is this show now, I obviously was hyping up, Tony and Ziva, right? Is this show better than Tony Z and Ziva? Yes. Okay, so that means Tony and Ziva doesn't get to be in my 10. Now, is this show better than a lot of the other shows in my 10? Right now, I have 3 I don't know, because I have 6 set, right? And I have these spots hold, because obviously, Landman's gonna be there, and Fallout, and, depending how South Park lands the plane and how many episodes South Park does, South Park could probably be there. It's really, like, complicated where the show falls, but then again, limited series is usually in its own category, and it'll probably win that because it is a limited series. I just gotta say, I can't wait till they meet because we know their paths are gonna cross, and if I were to guess, is that our garbage king, Robbie, is gonna probably end up, picking up the garbage in the safe house, Tom's safe house, and he's gonna probably figure out, "Oh shit, they're cops," and he's probably gonna try to do shit for it. All I gotta say is I've rewatched the pilot 3 times, and I rarely, like, rewatch a show like this. Not in terms, like, the genre, but I mean a show because to get the clues. Because by the way, like, Only Murders in the Building premieres tonight, which is also a show I'm gonna have to fucking watch. Wow, there's a lot of good fucking television. Only in the Murders and Alienator. God damn it. I gotta say, the show shot on location in Philadelphia, amazing. I feel like this is this year's Penguin in terms for HBO, because it is a limited series, they're not doing a second season. This show, because it doesn't have to go up against Adolescence, because Adolescence is winning all the Emmys next week, and the way the Emmy calendar works, it means they don't have to compete against each other, is that this show's most likely winning almost every limited series Emmy next year, and Golden Globe for a limited series, which is great, and that's all for 1 episode, but Brad Ainsley does not miss, okay? The man's work is just insane. You don't understand, he made Mayor of Easttown, Our Way Back, American Woman, The Lost Bus. All I'm saying is watch Task. I will not watch ahead. I want to, but I enjoyed a conversation. And I also forgot now that's resulting with HBO 9 PM shows during the NFL season is that then again, we did get a blowout last night, but then they came back. So I really feel like robbed with the entire situation. Either way, watch Task 9 PM HBOs.